Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 7. We will present to you about our topic for extended AC, which prepared by me, AUNI NABILAH binti AHMAD BAKHORY, and my teammate Iman binti Shafie. Our topic is inadequate educational facilities among school students during pandemic COVID-19.
We divide our presentation into 3 chapters. The first one is introduction, followed by 3 main ideas. The first one is financial constraint, and we will explore the second main idea, which is gadget sharing, and the last one is inability to provide up-to-date gadget, and the last one is conclusion.
One of the most shocking issues that raised utmost concerns about the safety and health of all people around the world happened in 2020 was the outbreak of a dangerous and deadly COVID-19 virus. Due to this virus threat, all countries, including Malaysia, had to close all sectors such as education, economy, and tourism to reduce the high risk of widespread current contagious disease. Abdul Hamid and Khalidi 2020 highlighted that the educational institutions did not receive any exception as it had resulted in approximately 4.9 million students across the country affected by the shutdown of all schools since 15 March at the level of preschool, primary schools, and also secondary schools. Consequently, it caused the postponement of traditional learning. So, to ensure the learning process will still ongoing safely even though in this outbreak, the Ministry of Education has adopted an implementation of online distance learning by utilizing the latest availability of technologies, namely gadgets, as well as applications to replace the usual traditional learning. Moreover, it also contributed to the challenges of online distance learning faced by educators and students, specifically among those who did not have privilege of having proper gadgets for learning. From our research, we found that the main challenge during the early implementation of e-learning was the convenience of gadgets to access learning platforms such as Google Classroom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and so on. This essential need of gadgets for online learning was in line with the significance of education that has been highly emphasized in Islam despite the pandemic, referring to the verse 11 of Surah Al-Mujadalah. Allah said, Allah will raise those who have believed among you and those who were given knowledge by degrees, and Allah is acquainted with what you do. Indeed, the factors of inadequate educational facilities among school students during pandemic COVID-19 were financial constraints, gadget sharing, inability to provide upgraded and up-to-date gadgets.
The COVID-19 pandemic causes rapid changes which forced the government to declare a movement control order or MCO and giving impact to the closure of economic sector and people all over countries where they are likely to lose their job or the salary they earn is paid half from the normal salary by the employer, causing pressure on the family economic status. So, Human Resource Ministry in Malaysia revealed that over 99,000 Malaysians have lost their jobs since the implementation of MCO. So, the implementation of MCO causes online learning that has required a very large cost because it involved the purchasing of internet data as well as buying of smartphone and laptop to ensure that children are not left behind. So basically, this affects the low-income group, especially those who run their own business and have no fixed income, to use their saving in order to make sure their children have complete learning equipment. Yet, even using their saving, but still also not enough because of the rising price of laptop and smartphone due to the high demand. So in conclusion, parents cannot afford to buy laptop and phone because priority is given to the purchase of food and payment of rent in line with the second principle of Maqasid Sharia, which is the preservation of life. Because of that, we as a human need to remind ourselves that the situation faced by an individual was not the same as others. So it should be noted that that every family has its own hardship and priorities in life, and it was unfair to simply judge someone's life. Maybe for some, the problem seems simple and easy to resolve, but for others, the problem was quite challenging to deal with it.
According to Shafie in 2021, this pandemic of COVID-19 has triggered a dramatic change in teaching and learning approaches, which commonly use gadgets such as smartphones, tablets, and laptops for online learning, following the style of 21st century teaching. Furthermore, not all students have adequate gadgets for educational purposes due to diverse socio-economic family status, which resulted in sharing gadgets among siblings, especially from poor and middle-income families, which it made the learning process even harder for students to pay attention to the teaching and learning process. In addition, some students were not responsible for the facilities provided by their parents, causing a lack of trust by the parents towards their children, which it resulted in the approach of sharing gadgets by the parents to supervise their progress.
Moving on to our last main idea for our presentation, which is inability to provide up-to-date gadget, because previously the use of gadget, especially smartphone or tablet, was seen as limited to the purpose of communication and entertainment. But nowadays, almost all daily routine are done through the gadget in line with the growth of internet access and the development of various online service applications. The total closure of the education sector caused the Ministry of National Education to implement online distance learning, and implying all learning activities had to be done online, replacing the traditional classroom. So school and teachers received the order from the authority to grab all the opportunities to explore learning applications that are available nowadays. So that results in the use of application for online learning are not standardized. Starting from that, students need to download all these applications, which unfortunately consume very large storage of their phone. So due to that, students ask their parents to buy a new smartphone, and it's giving difficulty for P40 students because their parents need to spend at least 600 ringgit Malaysian to get the latest version of smartphone with the long battery life, clear camera, and also large storage. So this is for one child. Imagine if the family have 4 children, and it will involve a bigger amount of expense in ensuring their learning sessions are going smoothly.
All in all, budgetary pressure, sibling device sharing, and inability to provide new and updated gadgets are all elements contributing to the issues stated above. Hence, it requires a systematic and organized preparation in resolving the issue. This clearly portrays the significance of education at all costs, which categorized under the preservation of intellect in Maqasid Syariah according to the verse 1 until 5 of Surah Al-Alaq.
The method of learning has changed to normal, which is face-to-face. So to improve the quality education in the future, strategies need to be taken to ensure that the distance learning process can be improved if such emergency happen again. So as for the recommendation, school need to standardize the use of learning application for synchronous and asynchronous session. So by a meeting should be held where teachers sit in a meeting and give their opinion on the application that they feel is appropriate to the student's situation, and facilitate the affairs of both parties so that the learning process going smoothly. So hence, the use of same application will ease the burden of P40 family, because the issue of gadget sharing affected them most of the time. So it is highly recommended for the teacher to take the advantage of the application provided by the Ministry of Education, known as the Lima. So the portal does not need to be downloaded for the student, and student can be accessed online using an email account provided by the ICT coordinator at their school. So indeed, this application will save storage usage either on the phone or laptop. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.